Starting any business is risky, but starting a vegan one, that can feel like jumping into the unknown.
When Vidhi and I started Imagine Cafe over a decade ago, finding guidance felt almost impossible. That's why we are making this series, to share real insights from real founders who've been there. But before we get into the funding, the teams, the marketing,
We need to ask the most basic question, the question that we can very easily forget to ask. Should you actually start a vegan business?
but we'll start at the very beginning.
Well, basically, I started it to solve my own pain problem, my own pain point.
This is Desiree, the founder of Woes and Company, a luxury vegan footwear brand based in Vancouver, Canada.
Running a vegan business, I feel like has to come from the heart. So for me, as a vegan woman, it was 8 years of having a very frustrating time trying to find designer footwear, not made of leather, suede, or plastic. And it just started off as a passion project, and then one thing led to the next, and here we are. And now I have a vegan business.
Wow. So, why did you do it?
So actually, before I didn't think I would make a business.
This is Megan, the founder of Bear Dates. And even though she didn't want to start a business, for nearly 10 years now, she's run this much loved online vegan grocery store in the Philippines. And she's funny too, as we'll see later on.
So because when I went vegan, like there was no vegan restaurant, there was no like vegan cafe, there was no vegan grocery, there was nothing. I was having like bulk deliveries of frozen vegan meat for myself. And I just thought maybe there are some people interested. So I literally had 5 items and it was just what's in our fridge. And I just offered it to people in the community and we sold out within 2 days.
Wow.
Yeah, and people were ordering outside from my city. And then we thought, maybe people need this? And then it just started from there. Yeah.
So, why did you do it?
Together with my friend, both of us just turned vegan. And then we were so motivated to do something for the animals. I'm just thinking, okay, maybe we can open a vegan restaurant. That's it. Like, that's the first thing that came to our mind at that time.
And this crazy dude is Carlo. And just like that, he co founded Mangi's, one of the most beautiful of all the beautiful Bali cafes. It's 100% vegan, super highly rated, and much loved by the vegan community here.
I think I don't think enough of it back then. I think, oh, restaurant must be easy.
Right.
I don't think, I don't,
Did you make a financial model? Did you?
no,
No?
there's no plan. It's just spontaneous.
Okay.
There's no plan and like happy-go-lucky, something like that. Let's see how it is gambling totally.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I never cook in almost my whole life. Maybe I only cook rice or fried rice.
I told you he was crazy. The spark that ignites a vegan business often isn't from a spreadsheet or years of industry experience. Solving your own problem, feeling a sense of necessity, or just wanting to contribute to something that's bigger than you. For Vidhi and me,
It sounds stupid, but it was to order food from somewhere, People think it's a small part of your life, but it's a big part of your life, these little things.
it wasn't a grand business plan. It felt almost like a community service we had to provide because no one else had done it yet. But that initial excitement can collide with the harsh realities of running a business.
People, I think, become entrepreneurs because it's like, oh, I'm going to make all this money and barely have to work. And it's like, you work all the time and most people don't make a lot of money until many, 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 many years later.
Right.
I have this great idea. I'm going to solve this problem. Everybody's going to want it. I'm going to get it produced. Manufacturing is going to be fine. And we're just going to sell and it's going to be great. And it's a very linear dream from here to here. And we probably, every entrepreneur has seen the graph where you think it's from here to here and it's actually from here, back, up, around, up and down. Yeah. And that's just the journey.
The most difficult is when we lose the motivation. For example, in the first 2 years, even the business is not going that good, it's still easy for you to motivate yourself because we just started, right? But after 5 years, it's really hard to motivate yourself sometimes. it's gonna be a struggle. You have to know that one. Especially in this non-vegan world, it's gonna be a struggle.
Even growth can bring its own set of challenges.
We actually expanded. So before it was just in our San Pedro Laguna, which is our city. Now we expanded to Makati, which is in Metro Manila. So now we have two places, more staff, more operational cost. So we're just at the point, and it's new. So we're just at the point where we're still figuring out how to then. But right now, it's just basically covering the bills.
Okay.
Desiree even mentions having moments where
I could easily go get a job. I could easily be very well paid, get some sort of like high level C-suite job, get however many weeks of vacation a year.
what keeps someone going when walking away might seem logical.
And so what keeps you going is that's why you have to have a very strong why.
Right.
And for me, I have a very strong why
Right.
because ultimately I'm doing it for the animals.
Right.
Yeah, because I feel like every time I sell a pair of vegan shoes, that's one more person that has not bought a pair of leather shoes.
Right.
And also, my why is to really, it's now even bigger than the animals. It's all about the planet. As we
Right.
know, we are in like an extreme climate crisis.
Right.
And I just feel like I can't not do this.
I think what make us keep going is just because my passion is not in F&B. My passion is I really want to do something with the animals. I think most of vegan businesses, they're not doing it only for the business. They do it also because they want to do something for the animals. They see the value of it. I think that make us, to stay longer. People, they don't see the difference between values and passion, and they just like the money. That's totally different. I mean, it's good when you have motivation other than money. Not so many people can have that one.
If it's just all about profit, maybe we would have closed a long time ago, I mean, we were profitable before we expanded to the new location because now we have all the cost. I say we're advocacy first because it's true. We don't take anything from the business. Whatever is extra goes to the community cats, goes to like other advocacies. Yeah.
That connection to purpose is critical. It transforms the struggle. It's not just about keeping a business afloat, it's about furthering a cause you deeply believe in. For imagine that vegan identity, that feeling of contributing to the movement, was the anchor during the storms. But passion, however strong, doesn't magically solve the practical challenges, especially the financial ones.
But from my end, this is all my saving, and I even take a loan. 40% is from my saving, 60% is from a loan. Think about how I'm gonna pay the loan, and just imagine 6 months after we open, it's pandemic, and we are in Bali, in Canggu, which is like there's no tourists.
Right.
So this is still my part-time. So I still have a full-time. So no salary, unfortunately. But maybe, I don't know, if we get acquired by a bit. No, just kidding.
Not your business, I would say most of the time, for the first 3 years at least, you're not making enough to pay yourself a living wage.
Right.
Like,
Right. Yeah.
in my experience.
Yeah.
Again, there are those unicorns. There are
Yeah.
some that just like hit the ground running. But
Like with us, if we actually took a salary from a restaurant, we'd have to shut within 3 months.
Loans, savings, working two jobs, no salary. It's a familiar story in any business, not just a vegan one. Honestly, it's tough. So, looking back, how do these founders feel about the journey? Was the reward worth the struggle?
right, if I had known all the things that I would have to endure for the last like 5 or 6 or 7 years, would I have started? Like, probably not. You underestimate how hard it's going to be. You know what I mean? I mean, I probably would still, but
Yeah.
do I want to go through it again? No. But am I grateful that the younger version of me took those steps
Right.
to like figure out cactus leather, to
Right.
figure out manufacturing, to set up a Shopify store? Like, yeah, I'm so grateful that I did that.
Yeah.
I'm very happy that I've been able to, I guess it's kind of like a bucket list, right? When you have a passion project and you're able to see it come to life, no matter now what happens, I know that I can like die, not without having regrets.
The cafe we started is now shut.
Yeah.
But whenever we look back on it, it makes me smile, and
Yeah.
I feel really good and happy about myself.
Exactly.
That we got to do something like that.
100%.
I almost feel like a part of me would not exist. Like a big part of me would not exist if we did not do that.
100%. Like, just feel so proud of yourself for like, because it is not easy.
No,
so many
not-
people sit and dream about it, or
Right.
like it's just an idea in their head. Like, the only thing you can control is like your input and what you do and putting in that effort. And I think if you do that, you can't regret that.
It's not so many people can really do what they want.
Right.
And usually some people can do it when they already have all of their needs is already fulfilled. For example, you are rich or you are so wealthy, and then you start thinking, oh, what can I do for others? For me, I'm not. Literally, I'm not. This is something that not so many people can do, like.
I think it's getting messages when like people say, "Oh, I started going vegan because of you guys. Like you made it easy, and now they're still vegan."
Nice.
I cry easily, as I told you. Okay. So that's just nice.
There's a profound sense of accomplishment, not just in building a business, but in doing something that you deeply believe in.
Which brings us full circle.
So for someone who's watching this and is thinking of starting a vegan business, should they do it?
I say if you have a nagging idea that feels very strong in your heart, there's white space in the market, and you have the skill set to at least get 50% of it off the ground, absolutely. It's important to do a real strong gut check as to like the why.
Yeah.
If you're trying to do it to make $1 million, no. If you're trying to do it to solve a legitimate problem and make the world better and serve, yes.
So should you actually do it? Should you start a vegan business?
No. It's not for the faint-hearted. It's really not. I think in general, businesses are not for everyone. I think if you're thinking of doing something, do it early, but be able to end early also. Because if you just keep digging that hole, you'll be worse. And again, it's not for everyone. Having a business is difficult. Having a vegan business is extra hard. So there was this one like founder in the podcast I remember, and they're like, "Oh, you built this business from you didn't have experience, whatever." But throughout the story, the dad was investing in all of the stages. They failed, the dad invested again, And I mean, if you have that, do it, use it for good, and do a vegan business. That would be amazing. But if you, not everyone has that.
Should you do it?
They should. They should.
Why? What are the...
It's time to not to think about ourselves all the time.
Right.
So, should you do it? Well, only you can answer that question. And if this answer irritates you, I get it. I think it would irritate me too.
But I did not want a neat pros and cons list. You can just ask your favorite chatbot for that. This stuff is truly confusing. We have spent 3 months conducting these interviews and editing the footage. And after all of that, I do have some observations that I'd love to share with you. We wanted to share a real glimpse of what it feels like to found a vegan company. And I don't think it's possible to have had 3 better guests. They said the most intense things in such a calm and measured way. Their humility and honesty is just incredible. A lot of the risks we talk about here are about business in general and not exclusive to vegan businesses. The vegan element in starting a business, well, like everything else, there will be pros and cons. We'll dive into those details in later episodes, but it's important to note that it can be a big advantage as well.
I'd like to end this on a personal note. When I look back on Imagine and our journey, it was tough, it was brutal, it was relentless. It was one of the most difficult things I've ever done. But you see, that's the thing about difficult things. They can be strangely wonderful and magical too. Sometimes it's hard to see it in the moment. But when I look back, I just know it's made me a better person, a stronger person, a kinder person. But would I do something like this again? I'm really not sure.